In America right now, there are over 2.5 million LLCs. Every year, a small percentage of the people who own these LLCs decides to change the name of their LLCs.
I'll change, I'll grow, I'll be better.
In this video, we're going to go over why people decide to change the name of their LLCs, exactly how to change the name of your LLC step by step, and the consequences of changing your LLC name and more. So if you're interested in learning a little bit more about changing the name of your LLC, this is the video for you. Also, make sure that you stay all the way to the end because I'll be giving you a special golden nugget piece of information that's going to be important for you if you have trouble trying to change the name of your LLC. So you're not going to want to miss this video. Let's dive in. All right, guys, why do people decide to change the name of their LLCs? People decide to change the name of their LLCs for many reasons. Here's a quick breakdown of some of the most common reasons why people change the name of their LLCs. Number one, they simply don't like the name and they're sick of it. Number two, they thought of a better name that they want to switch to. Number three, their business model has changed now and they need a better name that's going to serve this new business model. Number four, a partner or owner has left the business and their name is still attached to the business, so they want to remove it from the LLC. And number five, there is a similar business with a similar name and the LLC owner wants to differentiate his or her business from the other one. An LLC owner could decide to change the name of his or her LLC for any of these reasons or for different ones. But is it allowed by law to change the name of your LLC? Yes, it is definitely allowed by law to change the name of your LLC. So don't think that you will have to try to somehow sneak a name change past the IRS or your state government. It is 100% legal to change the name of your LLC, and there's a protocol that you can follow to do just that. So how exactly do you change the name of your LLC? We're going to take it through step by step. Step number one, find out if the new LLC's name is available. There is no point in going through any of the other steps if you don't do this first. Thousands of LLC names are already taken in every state, so you have to do a search of the LLC name to make sure that the name you want to switch to is actually open. Most states have online directories of LLC names that you can quickly browse through. If you discover that the particular LLC name that you wanted to use is already taken in your state, then you will have to come up with a new name. Once you find an LLC name that you have verified is available, you can move on to step number two. Get formal approval from all LLC owners to change the name. You should have a formal business meeting with the other members of your LLC, if there are others, to discuss and approve the LLC name change. You shall write up a document that details the name change and have it signed by all parties. If there are other protocols listed in your operating agreement to changing the name of your LLC, then you should carry them out. Having all LLC members approve of the name change in writing can help to prevent any difficult legal disputes down the road if one of the LLC members decides that he or she is unhappy with the new name. Once all the owners or LLC members agree to the name change, the next step is to file articles of amendment with the Secretary of State's office in your state. When you do this, you will also have to pay any relevant filing fees that go along with this process. These fees are usually not very expensive and are frequently less than about $150. However, they do vary from state to state. After you file the articles of amendment, you will have to wait to hear back from your state government to see if your proposed LLC name change was accepted. If it is accepted, then you can move on to the next step. If not, then you will have to fix whatever the issue was, which could mean that you have to choose a new name and try over again. Let's discuss step number four, amending your articles of organization. Back when you first formed your LLC, you should have filed articles of organization with your state. In order to officially change your LLC name, you'll have to amend these articles. Now, in order to do this, you'll have to get an amendment form from your state government online. All of these states have forms. Usually, you can find amendment forms easily on state government websites. After you acquire the amendment form, I want you to fill it out, file it with your state government, and pay any fees that are required to be paid. Let's talk about step number five, amending your operating agreement. Just as you should amend your articles of organization, you should also have to amend your operating agreement to reflect the new name changes to your LLC. This is just one of the steps that you have to take and it has to be completed in order to make the name change official.
This is super official.
Step number 6 is to notify the tax authorities and the licensing agents. Oftentimes, LLC owners have the names of their LLCs listed on various business licenses. If you fall under this category, then you'll have to inform the various agencies who issued those licenses that the name of your business is changing so that they can update the licenses with your new LLC name. Oftentimes, when you notify these agencies of the name change, they will require you to provide a certificate from the state that verifies that your LLC name change has officially been accepted. So don't be surprised if they reject you if you ask them to change the business name on your license before your state government has approved your LLC's name change. Now, in addition to notifying the licensing agencies, you also want to make sure that you notify the IRS in addition to state and local tax authorities. The last thing that you want to deal with when you're switching the name of your LLC is unnecessary tax compliance because you forgot to tell the tax authorities that the name of your business has changed. These things are very crucial steps. You definitely don't want the tax authorities to think that you are trying to evade taxes or commit tax fraud by switching the name of your business and them thinking you never filed. So just inform them and get it over with. Now, step number 7 is change the name of your business accounts. If you're an LLC owner, then most likely you'll have at least one business bank account, if not more than one. When you change the name of your LLC, you're going to have to go in and change the name of your business bank accounts as well. You will also have to change the name of your business credit cards, your checks, and everything else. You're also going to have to inform your clients, your vendors, and any other key business contacts about the name change so that they don't get confused. And furthermore, you might have to amend some contracts and you'll have to pay to update your invoices and purchase orders, estimate forms, all your other documents that you might be sending out to conduct business. Step number 8 is to change the name of everything else. After you get formal approval from your state government to switch your name, and after you completed all the other steps that we've talked about, it is finally time to change the name on everything else. This includes your marketing materials, like your website, your business cards. Hopefully, once you have all this stuff done, and it could take a little bit of time, your new business name will be a hit and you will increase your profits because you've made the right decision. But are there any restrictions about the names you can use? Believe it or not, there are actually a decent amount of rules about LLC names. In order to have a change of getting your LLC name approved by your state government, you'll want to at least comply with some of these rules and regulations that I'm going to go over. Here's a list of all of the rules that you'll need to be aware of when making an LLC name change. Your new LLC name must be unique. What this means is that there cannot already be a business in your state operating with the new name that you have in mind. For example, if you want to change the name of your LLC to Joanne's Jacket Store LLC, there cannot already be an LLC operating with the name in your state. The reason why this rule exists is to prevent confusion in the marketplace and to also try to prevent companies from infringing on each other's intellectual property. So even if you have come up with a really great new LLC name that you're absolutely in love with, it doesn't matter if there's already a business with that name operating in your state. You won't be able to use that and you'll have to change your name. The next one is it has to include the entity type. What this means is that your LLC must indicate that it's an LLC in your LLC name. You can do this by adding the words limited liability company to the name or an abbreviation of the limited liability company such as LLC. The reason why this rule exists is to let everyone who will engage with you in your business know exactly what kind of business it is. This provides transparency and it clears up any confusion that might otherwise exist if your business name did not include any entity type. Now, another rule that the IRS has is that your name cannot mislead. This is a very important rule. And what this means is that if your business is an LLC, you cannot claim that it is a different business entity. For example, you cannot claim that you're a corporation. So back to the whole Joanne's Jacket example, you wouldn't be able to call your business Joanne's Jacket Corporation if it was really an LLC. You also wouldn't be able to call it Joanne's Jacket Inc. either. Your business name must accurately reflect the business entity that it is. Otherwise, you could find yourself in a little bit of legal trouble, which you definitely don't want to be in. Also, you're not allowed to use words like legal or medical associates in your LLC name in your business unless you have the proper credentials. If you do try to add these words or similar words to your LLC name, then you will most likely be asked by your state government to provide your licenses when you go to switch your LLC name. Now, here's some other considerations that I want you to think about. Now that we've talked our arm and ears off about how to change the business's name and what the rules are for doing so, let's talk about some other things that you should really be considering before you officially change the name of your LLC. How about the website domain names? Most likely, if you're switching the name of your business, you'll also be probably thinking about switching the name of your website or setting up the website. The problem is that the best domain name for your new business name idea might already be taken online. So before you complete all the work to change your LLC name, you should just first check to see if there is a good website domain name available for your business if you plan to have a website. If not, you might want to consider going with a different LLC name that does have a domain name that's available. Keep in mind that even if the LLC name is available in your state, it doesn't mean that the domain name is necessarily available. You should also choose a name that allows for you to grow. For example, with the whole Joanne's Jacket example, the name could be switched to Joanne's Clothing LLC. Changing the name in the manner would allow Joanne to expand her business to include many more different clothing options and would give her plenty of room to grow. However, if she changed the name to Joanne's Jackets and Sweaters LLC, this would only allow for her to expand to sweaters, and then she might have to go through the process of changing her name again down the road if she decides to expand her business to offer different clothing. So please make sure that you put enough forethought into your new LLC name and to make sure that it gives you enough room to grow. You don't want to limit yourself to remain in certain business areas just in case you decide that you want to expand later. Another thing you want to consider is how can you make it memorable? The right business name can have a major positive impact on your brand recognition. In other words, if you choose the right business name, it can help people to remember your company more. For example, think about Apple computers. All the time that Apple was created, many people were weary of new technology and felt overwhelmed by it. Steve Jobs chose the name Apple so that it would sound more simple, friendly, and approachable. Also, like many other people, Jobs loved apples. Many of Apple's competitors at the time had names that were more rooted in technology, so Apple helped itself stand out by naming itself after something non-technical and non-intimidating, but was spirited and fun at the same time. This is just like one example. If you can think of a name that helps your company to stand out from your competitors in a good way, then fantastic, you should do it. You don't necessarily have to name your company after a type of fruit either, but be creative. Don't choose the first idea that comes to your mind. Take some time to come up with a number of ideas until you get one that you really believe in. Now, keep in mind that your LLC's name is one of the most important features, and it's how everyone will identify your company. What if you operate your LLC in other states? Fortunately, changing the name of your LLC in one state does not automatically apply to all other states. So if you operate your LLC in other states, or if you're planning to expand to other states, then you will have to register your LLC as a foreign LLC in the other states, and you'll have to go through the name change process in these states as well, including filing articles of amendment and paying the relevant fees. So, question. Is it worth it to change the name of your LLC? As you can probably tell by now, the process of changing your name is kind of tedious. The simple act of filing your articles of amendment with your government is not that bad, but having to go through the change your official business name on all accounts process and checks and credit cards and website, that becomes the time-consuming process. Not to mention, you will also have to inform all of your clients, all of your vendors, all your business contacts, associates about the name change. And if you forget, it can cause a little bit of problems down the road. For this reason, I don't recommend changing your LLC name on a regular basis. But for many LLCs, it absolutely does make sense to change their names. For example, if a previous partner's name is still on the LLC name, then of course it makes sense to change the name of the LLC. Or like I was talking about before, if your old LLC name no longer accurately reflects the company you're doing or what the direction you're going in, then yeah, it can make sense to change the business's name.
Sure, yeah, that makes sense.
A famous example of this is Facebook. Facebook is a corporation and not an LLC, but Facebook recently changed its name to Meta. This is because the parent company beyond Facebook, which also owns Instagram and WhatsApp, is expanding for the metaverse. So it felt that Meta was a better name for itself. Now, here's the golden nugget. All right, guys, we have reached the end of this video. I always promise you guys a golden nugget of information anytime we get to the end of the video. This is regarding switching the name of your LLC. Here it is. If you don't want to change the name of your LLC, you also can operate as a DBA. A DBA is doing business as. Many states allow for you to change your DBA without having to change the name of your LLC. Also, oftentimes banks will allow for you to just add the DBA to your existing accounts for your LLC. So if you don't want to go through the process of changing your LLC's name, then you might be able to change the DBA instead, which is usually a much simpler process. To find out whether or not your business is eligible to do this, yes, you will need to speak with a tax professional. Now, I want to say thank you so much for making it to the end of this video, guys. I work with a lot of clients who own LLCs, and I want to make sure you're getting the support you need with your LLC. Maybe you're an S corporation. Maybe you're thinking about how can you take additional tax strategies. What we're doing right now is we're holding the Tax-Free Wealth Challenge from November 14th through the 18th. I'd love to see you on there if you have some time to go over some advanced tax strategies with me. It'll give me an opportunity to help you implement these strategies into your tax returns. If you're somebody that already wants to be able to buy real estate, I look forward to seeing you inside of Tax Alchemy. That program teaches you how to buy real estate to offset your W-2 and 1099 income. That's all for today's video. I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time to make it to this end. Hopefully you learned a lot about changing the name of your LLC, and maybe, just maybe, we will be able to help you set up one LLC in the future. Thank you so much, and I look forward to talking with you in the future.